Hello, fourth graders. Today we're actually going to be talking about addition and regrouping. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a word problem that I'm going to read to you. It says, Jerry and Martha collected seashells at the beach. Jerry found 278 shells. So here's Jerry's shells. And Martha found 156 shells. How many seashells did Jerry and Martha find all together? Well, I know if we're doing something and it says all together, I know I'm using addition. So this might look like a pretty simple addition problem. I'm going to give you about 20, 30 seconds or so to solve this on your own, and I want to hear about how you guys did it. So I'm going to give you just a quick minute to do it on your own. So we have 4 different ways we're going to talk about today. The groups above is probably your most common way that you're used to seeing it. Starting in the ones, working our way over, regrouping up top here as we go. Groups above is probably our most common, but I want to introduce a few other ways today just to see if there's another way that you like. There's no really right or wrong on this one. It's just whatever you prefer. So I'm going to go give you a couple different options. So groups above, we're going to start in our right hand in the smallest place value in the ones, right? Just like you're used to. So I would start here, 8 plus 6 is 14. I know, and I'm going to go back to the old school lines here, I know that there's only one number per place value. I could never put 14 here because there is one number per place value. So if I think about the bottom here, 8 plus 6 can only have one number below it. 7 plus 5 can only have one number below it. And then my hundreds place, or my largest place value, if it's breaking 10, then you could have it over there. But for right now, one number per place value. So I know that 8 plus 6 is 14, and I know I can't put 14 there. I can put my 4 ones here, and because I have an extra group of 10, I bring it over to my tens place. It's one group of 10. Here's my 10. I bring over a 1, and I only put a 1 here because it's in the tens column. So because it's in the tens column, it's only one group of 10. I'm not going to put a 10 up here because 10 groups of 10 would be 100. So I have one group of 10 here. So now I know 7 plus 5 is 12. Add another 1, I'm at 13. Again, I cannot put 13 down here. I can only put a single place value. I'm always going to drop my 1s and carry my 10s. So I had 13, so here's my 1s. Carry that extra group over here. Well, that actually was now a group of 10 is becoming a group of 100 because it was 13 tens is actually 130. So when I carry this 1 over here, it's not just a 1, it's actually a group of 100 now. So when you go through it, you're going to be like, carry the 1, carry the 1, carry the 1. But know that each place value holds a different value. So in this case, this 4 and a 1 was 14. So this 1 was actually a 10. In this case, my 13 becomes 130. So just keep that in mind as you're adding. So now I need to I've carried my 1 over, or I've carried over my group of 10, which is now 100. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. Altogether, they had 434 shells. So I'll go through the groups above with you really quick again, just because that's probably what you're comfortable with, without going through all of the place value commentary here. So just super speedy way, 8 plus 6, 14. I know I have one place value. I have to carry over my remaining group. In this case, it's 10. 7 plus 5 is 12. Add one more is 13. I know I can only have one number, so I drop my ones. The 10 tens, the group comes over. 2 plus 2 is 4. Now another way you can do it, which is a little bit different, is groups below. Same exact idea, except for you're adding your groups below, as it says. So I'll do it with the same problem for you. Plus 156. So the way that this one is set up is you're actually adding it below down here. And maybe that's easier for you. Maybe you put your ones up here and you kind of forget about them, which I know that happens. If you put them down below, then when you're following the place value down, you really can't forget it. So I'd say 8 plus 6 is 14. And then with this one, instead of carrying my group up here to the top, I'm actually going to put it down here. So I put a little 1 down here. And this might be helpful for some of you because when you go down, you're like, okay, 7 plus 5 is 12, add 1 more, it's right in front of you. Maybe you don't get lost hanging out up here with all the ones getting carried. Again, personal preference. If you don't like this way, use the other way. So 7 plus 5 is 12, add 1 more, I'm at 13. Oh, see, I was naturally going to go up here. I got to go down here. 2 plus 2 is 4. So the groups below is the same idea. They're just down here instead of up top. And again, if you get mixed up top, also, I always recommend you guys, some of us, we have a hard time lining our numbers up on top of each other. If that is you and you're like, wow, I have my 8 over here, my 5 over here, and maybe your 434 is like creeping over here and they're not lined up, I would recommend when you do it in your notebook, just draw your lines down, keep it organized. And then you know there's one place value per number, or one number per place value, and it keeps everything lined up. 2 more quick ways to show you here. We have subtotal left to right. This sounds really quite strange, but really, again, you're just adding up each place value. So I have 278, and I have 156. It says left to right. So in this case, and this one seems a little bit more strange because you're actually starting in your biggest place value, which we don't normally do. So what you're going to go through, and you really have to know what each number is worth for this one. Remember, this isn't just a 2, this is a 200. This isn't just a 1, it's a 100. So for this strategy, you're really just breaking it down. So I start at my left. I know my 2 is a 200 and my 1 is a 100. So I'm going to write it really small here. So I know there's a 300. 7 plus 5 is not just 7 plus 5. It's 70 plus 50, and that gives me 120. And then my 8 and 6 are 1s, so that gives me 14. Now I have 4, 3, and 4. Or there's and again, same thing here. This one is just going to be right to left. This, to me, you guys, kind of reminds me of expanded form. You're taking each place value, breaking it down, and adding it up. Instead of seeing it as just an 8 or seeing it as just a 7, as an 8 or a 70. And this is our last method for today. I want you to try them all out. And again, some of you will click better with others. It just kind of depends on how your brain works. So this one, right to left, this one makes a little more sense to me, only because we're used to doing it this way with addition. You're going to, again, break down each place value. I'll draw my lines here. I know 8 and 6 because their ones are just 8 and 6. So that's a 14. I know I have 7 10s and 5 10s, so I have 70 plus 50. And guys, this is exactly the same as the other one. It's just going right to left. And then my 2 and my 1's not just a 2 and a 1, it's a 200 and 100 to give me 300. And it gives me 434. I'm going to have you guys try them all out today. I think doing it this way helps you really see place value and how to actually break down each multi-digit number. I'm not going to require that you do one over the other because it's kind of up to you. But today I want us to kind of try out some new methods and kind of see what works for us.